Okay, we're going to bring up Ashlyn Hughes, Andrew Pappas, and Teri, and we're going to talk about texting to set appointments. Ashlyn, you ready? All right, so let's get Andrew up. Hey, Andrew, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Good. Teri, thanks for jumping on. I know it was last minute. Hey, so let's start off with this. Let me start with Ashlyn. Ashlyn, I knew Andrew was doing some texting for set appointments. I was getting texts from people and calls from people from that went to the Dayton meeting and said Andrew was in the back of the room setting appointments, and I think Tanya was up front dialing. And so they said, have you talked about texting appointments yet? I said, I'm going to, because I got some other people that are texting also, and they're having a lot of success. So we're going to dig into that a little bit this morning. Ashlyn, let's start with you. So how long have you been texting to set appointments exclusively now?
Since the beginning of October,
58,000 degrees.
It's been a long time.
So since the beginning of October?
I would say
just strictly texting.
Yeah, I haven't dialed unless I'm like calling someone to get like a requirement or something like that. Then I will dial. But other than that, I haven't dialed to set any of my appointments.
Okay, are you you're sending out a text to set the appointment? Are you sending a confirmation or anything later or a reminder?
Yes, I do send a reminder. I have changed it up, and I found what works the best for me. And I have one other person in my office who is doing it also. And I do send a reminder, and in that reminder, I do say, please have your co-borrower or spouse available when I call you at this time. And then I have it in like big bold letters, so that way it's like you can't miss it. It's there. And after I set the appointment through text, I have it automated where it'll send it. It's like a scheduled text message. And I send it to all my appointments that I have set for the reminder. And then I also at the bottom, I say, you've just now set your appointment for mortgage protection. Ashlyn will be calling you at this time. Look forward to speaking to you. Have a great day. And then honestly, my no-show rate hasn't been bad at all most of the time. And I do also say, please confirm your appointment. That way, if they're not going to be available, then I need to know because I can book something else.
Okay. We'll get to the next. Hey, on the initial text, what does the text look? I knew we were going to get that question. What does the text look like? We'll get that out after the coaching session. Instead of trying to go through in detail here, we'll send it out. Mainly, I want to just touch on, how are you utilizing it? What kind of responses are you getting? So in October, how much business did you write from just texting to set your appointments?
38,000, I believe.
Okay, 38,000. And what kind of leads are you utilizing?
I do B, C, and D leads.
Okay.
A lot of applications I actually wrote in the month of October were 2 years old. They were 2-year-old leads. Some of them were 3-year-old leads. I mean, my mom had leads from 5 years that I was like going through and texting all of them because I just wanted to see. I was like, I'm going to see if it works, but I'm going to be dedicated to it. And it actually worked. So B and C leads, D leads are good. I will not lie to you. I do text A leads. I do text. And I've honestly had a pretty, like yesterday I was in the urgent care and I was texting leads and I set appointments that way. So, and they were A leads.
Are you utilizing any kind of an app or software to just blast the text out at one time?
iPhone has a new update where you can do that. It is a little complicated, and yes, I did have to look it up on YouTube. But they have an update where you can do that. And then you can also do like a scheduled text, and you can put the numbers that you want the scheduled text to go out to. So for my text reminder, it is, and my mom and I kind of figured it out together, but for my text reminder that I send out, it is now a scheduled text where I put the number in and it'll send out around 1 to all my appointments I have for the rest of the evening.
Okay, perfect. So hey, I got some questions coming in. We won't be emailing out the scripts. What we'll do is we'll end up putting a script on the training center. Everything will go to the training center. So that's where you'll be able to see that. Thank you, Ashley. Let me go over to Teri. Teri, I know you've been doing this, booking a ton of appointments, utilizing text. And talk to us about what, I mean, a ton of appointments. Andrew was sending me numbers this morning. I was like, okay, let's get her on here as well. What are you finding? Well, just tell us about the texting in general. How are you doing it? You're sending out initial text. If you want to give a little bit of description of what it looks like, that's fine. But just kind of tell us what you're doing that seems to be working really well, and what kind of leads are you sending them to?
Okay, great, sure.
Thank you for being on again last minute.
Oh, you're welcome. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of walk you through like how I train my appointment setters that work for me. What we do is they know nothing. So we're talking people who know nothing, and I take them from knowing nothing in one day to setting, usually the average is 20 to 50 appointments a week, the first week or so they set. So like Ashlyn said, I send the initial text out, which basically is a lot like the script that you use on your phone dials. It's really not anything different. Tweaked a little bit for the situation, of course, but it's not really much different than what you're already doing. And I think that's the problem. Sometimes people think it's like this trick,
Right.
It's really not. It's really kind of doing what you guys are already teaching, just doing it in a different vehicle. So what we do is I text all leads, A, B, C, IPL, anything. I treat them all the same. And the reason why, when I first started text messaging, I have kids and I'm mobile. So I wanted my business to be mobile. So I wanted all my leads in my phone. So I text everybody. Do I call? Absolutely. Yes, I still call. But I like to have them in my phone. And that way it's like a record it's a contact. It's a record. And when I call them, I text them and say, I left you a message. I called you. And I treat the text message like an open dialogue with the client that they're not having, but I'm having. Like, oh, hey, here's the updated times, because I know that you really want to know that, right? And, it's just kind of another way, especially for new agents, I think, because a lot of times I remember being new and getting tongue-tied. And if they asked a question, I got nervous. And I think text messaging gives you a minute to, like you said in your call, to sit back, to say what you want to say and say it the way you want to say it. And when you're doing that, eventually when I train my appointment setters, they start by texting only, and then they start phone calling after. And they're super comfortable with phone calling because they've had that language in their, they've been using that language, and they're getting comfortable with those words like mortgage protection and field underwriter and all that, that's new and foreign. And I think a lot of times for new agents, they're not just thinking about the appointment, they're thinking about the appointment. They're thinking about not just setting the appointment, but the appointment itself. And they're getting themselves all caught up. But if you look at it like setting the appointment is one job, that's all I'm doing. And the other job is talking to them about their mortgage protection. So let me just sit here, put all that stuff in the home outside, and let me just focus on setting the appointment. And I think when you do that, it just really frees you up to be able to do that. So yeah, I send an initial text. I put their name in it, and then that way I know when they respond who's responding. And I offer them times. And 9 times out of 10, someone will just text back 9 a.m. And like Ashlyn said, I always confirm the appointment. I send reminders, and that's pretty much it. And then I make phone calls if they don't answer.
What are you finding that your show ratio is? How many people are showing up? So if you book 10 appointments, how many people are you finding show up?
Virtual?
Yes.
9, 8, 9.
Okay, so really strong show ratio.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a real strong show ratio because you're touching them a lot. You're texting them. See, because all your communication with them has been by text. So it's like a relationship, like, oh, don't forget your meeting. Oh yeah, that's right. I text you, and I can just scroll up a little bit and see that I scheduled that meeting, and it's kind of like always in their face. So I send them reminders because then it's back in their face. I just do what my dentist office does. They bug the crap out of me until I get in there and get my teeth cleaned, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I do to clients, and it works.
So you send the initial text. You send that initial text, and again, we'll put this on the script on the training center. Are you giving them multiple times that you have open? And then if, let's say, for example, you send out to 10 people, 2 of the time slots are now gone. Do you resend to those people who haven't responded, hey, this is what's now available? There's not 3 time slots available, only this time's available?
Okay, so what I do is I send out an initial text with time slots. I usually don't do like one whole, I don't want, like say you have 9 to 9. I don't put like every hour from 9 to 9. I'll do like 9, 11, 1. And then on Monday and Tuesday, I have 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll offer a morning and afternoon. And then I just slowly close that gap because I don't want appointments all over the place. So and then I close the gap. And then as the mornings close on that day, then I open up the evening on that day, and I open up, the morning on the other day. So it's just kind of a good way to get the agents in front of people in a timely manner. So there's not a lot of time in between appointments. Does that happen? Yes, it does still, but I do my best to ensure that it doesn't happen. And then if somebody responds with the time, like if they say, 5 o'clock and it's already been taken, that's totally fine because they're responding. So you're like, how about this time? And then I just offer other times. And I've never lost an appointment because the time was taken. So a response is a yeah. If they respond with anything, it's yes. So I used to be super picky about the text, and I'd hurry up and take out those times. But now it's just like, as long as something's out there and they're responding, I can always, reschedule it.
Right. Okay, good stuff. Okay, this next one is, are you utilizing any type of a software app to blast text?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sorry. I think we lost your picture.
Okay,
there you are.
Hi, I'm here. Sorry. No, I just use my cell phone.
Okay, just manually texting them. Yep.
I manually text.
Are you utilizing any type of like a calendar that you're putting in the text for them to go schedule themselves on your calendar? You're just putting the times in there?
Yeah, I keep it real personal because, the thing is that we don't want to appear to be spam. Okay. And I think the more automated you make it, the more spam-like you become. I've been doing this for over 2 years now, the way I'm telling you. And I have tried all the automated things. I'm not saying they don't work. I mean, God bless anybody that wants to do that. But to me, I think the biggest challenge we have as agents is letting them know we're not a telemarketer. And we're not. Yep. And the more we act like I use my regular cell phone, when they call back, they hear my message. I'm just a person trying to set an appointment because I got your information and I'm trying to schedule this for you. And I have a lot of luck with that. And all my appointment setters use their personal cell phones as well. So, we're not doing anything at a high-tech scale that individual agents that are booking right now for you that are on this call can't do themselves.
Are you setting appointments same day? Or is 100% of everything the next day or following day?
I set some same day, not very many. You have to understand we set for a lot of agents. So we kind of perfected setting ahead appointments. And it's like, this is all we do is set appointments. So most of the appointments we set are for the next day or the day after.
Okay, good. Ashlyn, let me ask you that. Are you setting same day? How does your schedule look?
I do both. So, I actually don't stop texting because I'll usually set my whole day in like 30, 45 minutes. Usually it doesn't take me very long. So once I have all those set, I do set some for the day after. Like I have one today that I set yesterday, and sometimes I do set them 2 days out. But honestly, I really don't get no shows because you pretty much, you book it pretty good. And when you send reminder, and then if it is the next day, I do send a reminder that morning. First thing in the morning, I send a reminder. That's a new thing I have been doing, which does work really good. Send a reminder first thing in the morning so they know that this evening at 4 o'clock, they have their appointment for mortgage protection.
Got it. Andrew, are you sending a picture of the lead at the time you send the initial text?
I used to do that, but after talking with my mom maybe a couple months ago, she doesn't do that, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah, so no picture of the lead. Ashlyn, I don't think you're sending a picture, right? So by the way, Teri is Andrew's mom. So if y'all are wondering, what does his mom do? That's what she does right there. Okay, how about this one? I mean, a lot of these we just answer here. Andrew, you're manually texting also. You're not using the app or anything, are you?
No, I mean, just like my mom said, you don't want to seem like an automated thing. So you want to be more personable.
Let me ask you this. I already see your background. Do you have agents that this just came up? It's just totally, it's regardless if it's your calling or your texting, it doesn't matter. This is regarding the appointment. Do you have agents that use any virtual backgrounds? You know, where you can put a library back there that looks real fancy or something, or?
You asking me?
Yes.
This is what they see, what you see right now.
Do you have any of your agents that use virtual backgrounds or anything like that?
Maybe one of them does, but I don't think you need to. I mean, you guys saw my daughter walk up here. I'll let her do that. Like, she comes up, my dog will come and jump on my lap. I mean, I want the client to feel like I'm a real person. And so they kind of get an insight into my house. You know, like I do this, I'm in my bedroom right now. So, and I'll tell them, like, hey, if my dog comes jumping in here, or my kids come running around, usually when they see me working, that's when they need me. I apologize, but you know, that'll happen. And I had one client last night, my dog like popped his head there. He's like, let him jump up on you. I want to see what your dog looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just being personal. Like, hey, we're just real people. Yeah. Okay, how about this one? I think we about get not all these knocked out.
You know, I wonder how many people too, Scott, just glossed over, like, to think about that. You know, what I was texting you, like, in about an hour training because of texting, you know, my mom takes her appointment setters that know nothing about insurance, don't have a license, and they're booking 20, 30, 40, 50 appointments a week, like in their first week. How many of us agents are doing that our first week? Not very many. And I think it's just we think too much about it. Like, it's, you know, like, just book the appointment. Like, that's all. And texting really is a less scary way for new agents to get started. You know, I remember when I first got started making dials, you'd call someone and you screw it up. And that's what you're worried about. What if they say this? What if they say that? Well, if they text it to you, you have time to read it and think about what to say. And if you don't know, then you can call your upline and say, hey, I just text a lead. This is what they said. What should I do? And now you have time to respond. It's not like you got to think of it right now.
Yep.
And if you screw up or if you're tongue tied, well, you just lost it. Well, you can call them back in a couple of weeks. But I mean, it's like, it's just crazy when you think about that. Like, an agent that isn't going to benefit from $1,000 sale, just an appointment setter that's getting paid as an appointment setter, can go out there and book 30, 40 appointments a week in their first week. Yep. But us agents that we're not getting paid to book an appointment, but if we book it and we make a sale, we can make $1,000. It's like, why aren't we booking more then? Because there's a lot more profit in it for us. And it's just, you know, we're thinking about too much. Like, just book the appointment and don't worry about anything else. I mean, heck, my mom, I mean, because of texting, I mean, you think about that. I mean, she probably books 100 appointments a week. Like, does anybody else do that? Like, but she, obviously it's not because it's just for her, it's other agents, but texting is a big reason of that. That's not the only thing that she does. It's not the only thing that I do. Just like calling isn't the only thing that we should do. We should leave voicemails. We should text them. I mean, virtually we're not door knocking, but you know, you want to use every resource you can to book that appointment. And texting just really helps take the pressure off of you, especially as a new agent. That's the scariest thing for a new agent, is making dials, and texting kind of just takes that away. It makes it a little bit more less scary.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I think it's a great option, Bill, for new agents coming in. Just go, let's get you appointments. Let's just get you setting on appointments. And so go book them up. Like, go out there, text them, whatever you need to do, get you a bunch of leads, and go set your day up, man. Like, you should be, like, to Andrew's point, I think you can go out there and get a whole bunch of leads. I think you can sit there and blast these things out, and you can set 8 or 10 appointments a day.
Well, I mean,
like
like Ashlyn said, she was at the doctor's booking appointments. You know, like you mentioned earlier when we had that training in Dayton, you know, me and my mom and one other person were paying attention to the training, but texting, I mean, it doesn't take that much to text somebody.
Right.
And I think she had booked like 10 or 15 appointments. I booked like 4 or 5. The other agent booked like 3 or 4. I mean, while we're busy doing something, I mean, how many times have an agent said, oh, I couldn't make dials because my family came over, my friends came over, because we had to go somewhere? Well, yeah, I get it. It's loud where you're at. You can text them. They don't hear the background noise. They don't hear the kids being crazy. They don't hear whatever. Like, you can text people. I mean, so it makes, if you need to do things in your day, like, oh, like, I really need to go do this, but I need to make my dials, I need to schedule, well, go do it. Just text them, you know. But you can't, I think the big thing with texting also is, you know, like, would you ever get a lead, Scott, and just call it one time, and if they didn't answer, stop and say, well, they must not want it. So why do we do that with texting? And so I think that's just the biggest difference on, to make texting work. You just got to annoy them. Like my mom said, the dentist office will text you reminders all the time. Like, hey, you haven't gotten your cleaning. Hey, it's been 30 days. Hey, annoy the crap. Just as much as you annoy them through dials, annoy them through texting. And every time you text them, your text message is at the top of their text message thread now. So, you know, maybe they missed it. I mean, people get text messages all the time. If they don't recognize it, they just open it up, ignore it. You gotta annoy them. You gotta keep texting them, just like we keep dialing them, you know. So don't make one dial and stop, just like don't make one text and stop.
Good stuff, guys. So I think to Andrew's point, the thing is, stop thinking about it so much and just go do it. Whatever avenue it is, just go do it. Stop thinking about it so much, because I think you got it. And here's what you've heard. I know there's softwares out there and apps out there, but these folks are not using that. They're just saying, I'm just doing it. I'm just not thinking about it too much. I'm just getting the lead out, and I've got my script here, my text script, and I'm gonna plug in the number from the lead, and I'm gonna paste the script in there, and I'm gonna send it. And I'm gonna do the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And then as they're starting to respond, I'm responding to them, booking up my day, right? Just don't overthink it. I think what Andrew said is really important. Just don't overthink it. It's just go do it. Just go. Whatever it takes for you to say go. If you're sitting there going, I'm hesitant because I'm afraid to get on the phone. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to answer these questions. I don't know how to overcome rejections. Just go. Just send the text and go. The main thing is start going. Start moving, and moving fast. Like, once you start texting, like, go for it and go, man, I'm going to see if I can get 10 appointments today. And go do your stuff you need. If you need to go Christmas shopping later because they haven't done any Christmas shopping yet, take your leads with you and then just go. And have those texts in there as they're responding to you while they're shopping at Walmart or whatever on the toy aisle. Just go, oh, man, yeah, hey, listen. Hey, 5:30 is not available. I can do 6 to 6:30. Yeah, that'll work. So just go. I think that's the main thing is don't overthink it. Just go. Thank you, coaches, for being on. Incredible stuff, guys. We'll circle back with the script for texting. We'll put it on the training center. And listen, if you have any other questions, I got a few questions in here. I think we got most of them. I'm going to be on Facebook, and there's a few other questions from yesterday that were left over. I'll go in there later on Facebook and answer some of those. Guys, have a wonderful I was about to say Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful Christmas. It seems like it was just last week. Have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy it. Take some time with your family. If you don't like your family, go take some time with your friends that you do like. And we'll see you back Monday morning. Thank you, everyone. Great job, everyone. Thank you, Teri. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Ashlyn. Appreciate it. See ya.